project was, okay, how can we help support the children in the school to improve learning? And so my job as school nutrition director is like, I don't directly touch children, you know, I kind of indirectly touch children. And I talked over with my professor and we went down one route. She said, well, this is what you can do. And so I was talking with her and then I was like, this is not working. I said, I think I've got an idea. And the idea was to, you know, do a summer read and feed initiative, which I heard that you've done something like that in the past. Have you been aware of that? Not since you.
Well, there's different things going on with the Academic Center, and we've tried to encourage kids to read, bring books, and pick up books at the thrift shop and bring them to the kids, and try to, so definitely interested.
Okay, so we'll put our heads together and see, because what I ended up doing for my class is that I focused on LJ Elementary. I looked at third grade students because they are the ones who take the standardized test, the Georgia Milestones, the first round of it. And what I did is I compared how they, really our free and reduced students who are our economically disadvantaged kids, how they were doing on the English language arts portion of the test compared to the children who were paid and not Hispanic. And it was, I literally, you just have to understand, I was sitting over here in the coffee shop when I was putting this data together and I started crying. I mean, just tears in public was running down my face, and I'll show you some of these numbers because our little children who are our free and reduced kids, they need us so much. And when you see they start behind in school and they struggle from school. And if it's just one, Wendy, come on up here. You sit here. And if there is just one thing that we could possibly do to, you know, support them and help them. And so how I had to do it like a complete research project. And so I looked up ways that we can help economically disadvantaged kids read and read better. Come on up here when you get a chance. And so, and it's very simple. I mean, some of the things are not elaborate, and one of the top ways to help the kids is to have like a read along with an adult, and to get information in their hands so they can get it home. And so my thought was pull us together. You have ideas, you have, you know people who know people who know people, and we can see what we can do, you know, in the big scheme of things this summer to support reading. And so that's how this kind of all came about. And so I kind of got ahead of myself, but let me just tell you, and I hope you don't mind, I'm having to record this. So as Christy is recording for us, I had to do it for my project. So I'm so sorry. I hate being on camera worse than anything. But only people that will see this, it will be my professor at school. And so we'll just, you know, we can say, hey, hey, we're here. But anyway, let's introduce ourselves. And so most of you know everybody, but I'm new, so I am learning. So like I said, I'm Kim Burnett and school nutrition.
Wendy Crouch with the Times Career newspaper.
I'm Judy Valdez, and I'm from Orchard Church, and I've worked at the summer programs for 2 years.
I'm Maria Harmon, new to the area. I got kind of thrown into it and I love it. And we just love the kids.
Isn't it
So
sweet?
it's been
They're
2
just so
years.
sweet.
It's my second year, and the second year was had more of an impact, I think. I work with these two ladies for sure.
I know, this is just this is special. I mean, I hope you realize how special you are because it is. It's unique.
Glenda Murphy, also from the Orchard Church, and worked the Tower Road site for Seamless Summer.
I'm Barbara Dodson. I'm from Atlanta. I'm here primarily for Galen, but I do want to echo what you were saying about. I was just asking her population here as opposed to the town I live in, which is 54,000. There is more community involvement here and programs for helping everybody, adults, seniors, everybody, than I have ever seen.
No, and everybody's heart is in it for the right reason. A lot of people do, a lot of people do community service because it's the thing to do. But I
Because you
guess
have to do it for the junior league.
yeah, you know, but this is heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears and love all in one beautiful community. I'm just really excited to be here. Yeah, no, it's just such a good, it's just good. People are good here. There's a lot of good.
I'm Galen Forbes. I've been at LJ about 45 years now, so I'm almost native, but not quite. I did teach here 34 years. I taught in the Gilmore County system for 34 years.
Oh, wow.
My last 6 years were as a literacy coach with the Green First program. And since I retired, I'm involved with Kids First. Are you familiar with this
No,
organization?
and I was,
I thought about you
did
guys.
tell me what
for-
Kids First
Yes,
is.
yeah.
Kids First is an organization that's based on the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. But Georgia has broken away from that. We're not part of the Dolly Parton anymore. We're our own entity now. First Foundation for Childhood Literacy is the name of the organization, based out of Madison. Robin First, F-E-R-S-T.
Yeah, I noticed
so,
it was
yeah,
spelled
we
differently.
get told off on the
I bet.
But we register kids to receive books in the economic level. From birth to 5 years, they are eligible to receive one book every month in the mail.
Yes, it's phenomenal.
It is a phenomenal
Oh, my
thing.
goodness.
And-
Bingo.
And our local community action team registers kids and raises money. Because this is not a free program, it is not government subsidized, it is all donations. That's right. And we have, we send kids we send about a little over 1,200 books every month here in Gilmer County. Yeah. It is, yeah. And we have just said, we've been in existence for a little over 7 years now, and we have reached 105,000 books total to kids in the county in our 7 years. So we've had quite an impact, I'm sure, on getting books into the hands of children.
And
And we're always looking for volunteers, we're always looking for donations. And kudos to the school system, we get, the school system agreed to allow teachers to sign up for payroll deduction. So it's a monthly donation, and the school teachers here and administrators give, we get about $750 a month from the teachers. But it takes us at least $3,000 a month to continue our program. So we're always looking for volunteers and money, so that's my involvement with that.
Wow.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Boyd, and I'm with Orchard Church as well. I have not had the privilege of working Seamless Summer yet. My husband and I moved to LJ a little over a year ago, but my background is in education, and I've been in education for 35 years, the last 5 as a dyslexia tutor.
Perfect. Good. Hey.
Hi, Carlene Ferguson. Started 2 years ago at the Tower Road with these ladies over there, amazing women. And then broke off last year because they were going to close Mulberry Apartments, so I didn't want that to happen, so we broke off. And I represent part of the Optimist Club. I got volunteers from all over, some Optimist Club members and other churches, friends, and all. But so that my background is actually I'm an early childhood education major as well. But now I'm in health, primarily health and nutrition. So. And I'm actually not positive I want to help this year. I've opened a new business. I'm trying to see how it can work.
Well, just your
So.
expertise and input is very valuable, so I appreciate anything that you can do.
Thanks.
Okay, well, let's get started. I explained to you while we're doing this, let me just show you, I will not bore you with all the statistics, but I did want to show you a few of the slides that truly hit home for me. And LJ Elementary pretty well represents, the kids in the area. We were just looking at this small subgroup, but you can pretty well take that subgroup and apply it to the different schools because the kids just grow up and, you know, they land at that different school. What I thought was absolutely fascinating, I looked at the 2 years of data, and the culture is either white or Hispanic. There was, the state requires that you have at least 15 people of a race to count on their documentation, and in LJ Elementary, there were not 15 other kids that fell into another category, and I thought that was very, very interesting. So you can see the Hispanic population district-wide, depending on which year you look at, is almost a third, 27 to 30%. So that is significant, because you have these children who are coming to school who already have a language barrier, and then you put on top of that they're economically disadvantaged. You've got kids that are having trouble meeting these state guidelines. And I have been in LJ Elementary frequently. That is a good school. There are good teachers. They are doing whatever that they can to make an impact. There's strong leadership there, and so it's the children who are struggling, and we're trying to find out a way that we could possibly help them. And of course, you're familiar with the area. It's apples and chickens, and that pretty well takes care of a lot of the parents' jobs that are working. And then our free and reduced rate for the district from these 2 years, you can see, is 68 to 70%. That is significant. And so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And let me just get, okay. This is when I started crying. And what you are looking at probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'll try to explain it to you. There are different levels of this test. There's beginning, developing, proficient, and distinguished. Okay, for the state to say that you have met the benchmark and you are doing what you should be doing at this particular grade level, you have to either be proficient or distinguished. Okay, so if we look at our free and reduced kids, the small amount right here of this particular year, that was all the children in that grade that actually had the skills that the state said was necessary. With our paid kids, you can see it's better. There's still issues here, but not nearly as significant as there. And then if you look at 2016, same thing. These are our free and reduced children. I mean, it is like the majority are not meeting the benchmark. And so, what can we do? We can do something little. I mean, anything that we could do to improve that would be better. And then you can see our paid kids did significantly better. We did at least have one Hispanic child that hit distinguished, and it literally was one child. When I pulled the numbers, it was in that particular year. And I talked to Mrs. Pierce, who is the principal, and I brought that to her attention. I said it was one child. She said, yeah, it was one kid. And so, at least there was one child. And then if you look at it by race, I found this very interesting too. The comparing how the white children did versus the Hispanic children. We still broke it down by free and reduced and paid. What you'll see though, in this particular year, there were no paid Hispanic children that I had data on. So they all fell in the free and reduced category. There was, let me just clarify, when I pulled this information, there were 31 kids from this year that I was not able to identify. So the numbers may be off slightly. So there may be one or two students, and I just did not have